Hello, everybody, and good morning. My name is Jack Devine, and I am coming to you from my studio here in Brooklyn. And this is another shot of our office hours here. Basically, this is a chance for folks to interact with me and ask questions about what's going on, and also for us to have hopefully a lively and open debate regarding certain topics as they relate to things that I'm exploring and questioning within my own rig and how I approach music and how I see things working best. And today we're going to talk about different approaches to playing Franklin's Tower by the Grateful Dead, which is, granted, kind of a played out tune in some respects, but one that you're just not going to get around. You're going to have to play this if you're playing in this kind of music. It's kind of jammy stuff here. And it's a super fun song. I kind of use it as a palate cleanser at the end of the epic thing that precedes it on the Blues for Allah record called, Help Slip, the Help Slipknot suite. So we kind of segue that like they did on the album there. And with that in mind, I want to start my discussion here with kind of emulating the vibe that is on the Blues for Allah record, okay? Now, I am playing my 335, and I do play this song with my 335, even though the Strat would probably be a little bit more, maybe a little bit more period correct, or at least pickup correct. Okay, so on the record, we've got kind of a softer version of the song. The tempo is slower, more of a like. And there's definitely like some processing, some flanging or chorus on both the guitars. The Bobby part, which is, I think played more like up in here. Much different than where they ended up playing the song more like this kind of thing with a much more strident and forward, a little bit more. I refer to those as the frat rock versions of the song, as opposed to more like it had that first version of it is kind of a softer, sweeter vibe. So with that in mind, I've crafted one of these kind of phasered sounds. Hear a little bit of that phaser, and that's how I approach the opening of the tune. And the way my band kind of represents this song is we start out in one era, and by the end we've kind of brought it up dynamically. The live experience for me is about kind of building and taking the audience places. So I tend to, and my bandmates do as well, I think, share that the song shouldn't just stay at one level, that we kind of build it throughout. But when we come in out of the utilizing that kind of cleaner sound with that little phase over top of the definitely playing it a little cleaner, a little sweeter. But by the end of the song, we've definitely taken it up several notches. So it's with this in mind that I wanted to examine the impact of those tonal changes and share with you how, and also get some feedback from you guys as to whether or not you think it's just too much, but it seems to go over well live. So the question is, is it in fact, an appropriate treatment of the tune? Now, that's really not up to anybody, but the band to decide, I guess, and then the people reinforce it or deny it, that assertion by attending the shows. So right now, what have I got going on? I've got a little compression, a clean sound, lots of reverb, no delay, and a little bit of like a pretty, I think it's 6 stages of phasing, so you can kind of hear it, especially if we kind of college kind of. I tend to roll off a little bit of the high end so it's not too snarky. All right, and that's what I'm playing over. So let's take a look at a section of solo that I can repeat over and over again. And I'll vary some tones, and hopefully we can examine and see what works out here. So let's do, okay, nice. Probably a little plinky, a little. I don't know if anybody else is kind of getting that vibe from that. I mean, if I'm being critical, like maybe it's just my right hand is being a little heavy or whatever. But I can't help but wonder whether or not it'd be better if we quieted down the volume and raised a little bit of overdrive, which would sweeten up the attack by rounding it off a little bit. The other is to keep the volume the same way and but dull it by going to a different pickup. Let's see what that sounds like. question is, are we helping by doing that, or did it sound better there? The other option would be to change the balance between these two, maybe brighten it up a little bit more and make it a little bit more direct. And I tend to find that to be too pokey, like too yeah, I can already hear that I would never use that. That's just too direct sounding. So when you put these two pickups in series together, they kind of form this kind of sweetness sound to it. You can hear it with the phaser off a little bit. Much more so than if I just roll this down. 50s wiring, folks, this is the trick. 50s wiring on a double humbucking guitar takes the first, that's to 8.5 or 9, from 10 to just to 9, rolls the balance much more towards the bridge in terms of tone, but you still are getting a lot of the smoothing and beef of the neck pickup. It's a great sound just to roll down just a little bit there. All right, we'll see how that works to our advantage when we start to stack up more gain later in the show today. So you can hear how snappy that is, though. Has that kind of nice... really nicely built-in little bit of chirp to it. Okay, so I'd like to harness that when I can, but I don't think it's going to work so great with a lot of overdrive. Stacking up those effects. That definitely gives it that kind of sweeter, very mellow, you know? So that approach right there with that tone, you can't really play too much. What you want to do is do what I call bubbling, all right? Now this is a weird idea, but I've noticed it a lot with some of the larger jam sections that Garcia's playing in, where he doesn't want to, he's not taking a guitar solo so much as he's kind of part of the fabric of the sound that the band is making, and he kind of bubbles up and over and then kind of sinks back into the vibe. So if we're looking at this as our groove, we would look at it more like we were going... just underneath the surface, and then we bubble up over top of it. And this kind of more ensemble-based approach tends to yield a mellower and sweeter kind of effect out of the guitar. But you do need to be able to come up over the band dynamically just by using your right hand. So now that's a lot different approach than what I would call like the bigger, more epic kind of, if you get confused, listen to the music, play solo, which would be... You know, where all of a sudden it takes off. Now that's a little too distorted there. That would be more appropriate. Now that's the kind of sound I was talking about, not benefiting so much from the equal power from the two pickups. Watch what happens to this tone. Okay, it sounds a little like overly rounded and too much kind of like that tubby neck pickup sound coming out. I want a little bit more of the woody bark of the guitar, and so what I do is I roll off the neck pickup volume a little bit, and now just by doing it down to like 8.5, 9, we end up with a versus so by utilizing that and a little delay rather than the phasey sound, this right on top of this, that's kind of cool because you get some of the, it kind of accentuates the phaser. Very nice sound, right? But I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about this. Kind of a nice rounded tone still, with enough high end to kind of cut through and sound direct, rather than sounding kind of this that overly rounded neck pickup sound. So that too much of that gets through when I'm using this setup. So I like to roll down there. I think that works pretty nicely. I don't think you can get too. I don't think you want to go too much volume though when you're using that though. Just drowns it out. It sounds, it's overbearing at that volume, so you can't do that. You can't stack gain, like that's one gain right there. I don't want to put on any more overdrive. It just starts to sound too compressed and too, I mean, it's a little fish-like, you know, like it has that kind of Trey Anastasio thing going on there, especially if I knock down some more of the mid. He likes that. He likes that kind of overly compressed sound. I like a little bit less of that. More like that, but maybe with a little bit more high-end content. Still a lot of overdrive, though. Certainly more than, or at least a more conventional, like kind of rock tone than the Garcia overdrive pedals that he was playing in the 80s, which never really did it for me. I never really cared for his overdrive sound in the 80s. So those are basically the ideas that I'm examining on my pedal board at the moment, is whether or not, you know, where to go with these things. But I'm kind of determined. I think it's pretty well set up. Let's see about that. I think that that's kind of cool though. Kind of thing, kind of mellow. I don't know. That's about where I'm at. So I don't see anybody out here taking any part in this examination of this sound, but it is what it is. I guess there's only a couple of people watching, so I just figured I'd check in and say hi before I get on with my day. And I don't know. I don't know why this is giving me some sort of enjoyment, getting out there and relating to people and connecting. Over the summer, I kind of checked out, I know, so I guess it's just my way of reaching out and saying hi to anybody. Say goodbye, and I do appreciate everybody, checking me out and saying hello sometimes. So I guess I missed everybody today, but I guess I'm back to gotta go upstairs, clean up. Oh gosh, this is an early morning session for little moi, but getting ready to open up a studio here in the real recording and mastering place here, which is going to be fun. So the backdrop is going to change radically over the next couple of months, is my guess. Looking forward to that, and I'll keep doing lessons and online stuff, I hope. And whatever, if you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me via email, jack_divine@hotmail.com. I hope you're doing well and have a great day. All right, take care.